Hey there, how's it going? I'm here in the woods of Northern California, Mendocino County. A wet and a little bit chilly December day. Winter in Northern California, which isn't all that bad. Could be worse. A nice day for a hike. Just hiking up this trail here just outside of town. Town is through the trees there. So in this video then I thought that I would discuss the topic of ecstasy. We're all searching for ecstasy. There's a great quote by Barbara Hand Clow, a spiritual author and also a shaman and mythologist, archaeologist. She writes some very intriguing books that combine a lot of different subjects. She writes some very interesting books, and there's a quote of hers in which she says, humans are ecstasy deprived. Ecstasy deprived. An interesting concept because we tend to think of ecstasy as a peak state, a state of being that you're only likely to experience very briefly. Maybe you're on drugs, maybe you're actually on the drug of ecstasy, which I've done just once in my life. It was quite a transformative experience when I was a high school student with a group of friends. Or, you know, that feeling of elation when you win a race or get a on your research paper, or you know, engaged in sex with your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. You know, these occasional fleeting brief moments of experiencing something within ourselves, a sort of transcendental state of being that flashes through us and then is gone. And I don't think that it has to be so elusive as that. That these kinds of states of being are, you know, a few and far between in your life, if ever you experience something like that. It is my belief that a state which is, you know, beyond words, really, but you can call it bliss, ecstasy, joy, awakening, enlightenment, you know, lots of different sort of words and terms you could try to put to it, but that this is actually our true state of being, our true unobstructed, most natural state of being is actually one of just ecstatic bliss, of just sheer amazement and wonder at being alive. And that this is just something that we have forgotten. We've lost, we've become disconnected from, no longer remember. Probably as a baby, then we all experienced states like this on a more regular basis, and yet through the challenges and traumas and growth and everything of being a human being on this earth, and the trials and tribulations you have to go through that ultimately stunt our souls, then we've gotten further and further away from that state, to the extent that most people are basically in a state of numbness. And so then what is driving a lot of people's behavior is trying to get out of that stuck state of being that people are stuck in, of feeling numbed out, compressed, Like your energetic self is not being allowed to flow freely, and so you experience just a sort of ever-present state of suffering, of not feeling much of anything, of being just numbed out and anxious and stressed and bombarding yourself with negative thoughts and all this. And so people want to get away from that because that is not our true state of being. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel fun. It isn't a positive, enjoyable experience being in this present moment under that sort of a state of beingness. And so people are trying to get out of that. And so they're trying to find that state of being that does feel good to them through various means, whether it's drugs or inflicting their own pain on other people, distracting themselves through the quest for wealth and money and things and experiences that will give them that temporary state of relief from their true state of being. And yet, what it all comes down to is that if we could simply experience that state of ecstasy within ourselves, then all would be satisfied. I mean, obviously you still have to meet your basic needs of food and clothing and shelter and all that, but the greed, the insensitivity, terrorism, social problems such as crime and neglect and racism and sexism and human child sex trafficking and abuse of animals, and all this stuff could be erased. It doesn't have to be there. And it could be erased through the human realization of that state of ecstatic being, of getting more connected with who we truly are and how we can feel if we can simply realize it, achieve it, make those changes to our soul that allow us to be in that state of being that feels more pleasurable and enjoyable to us. Then people wouldn't have to be seeking out these distractions and being insensitive to other people and causing pain to other people and eternally consuming massive quantities of stuff they don't need because of their shopping addiction or their gambling addiction or their work addiction or their money addiction or their sex addiction or whatever their addiction is. The ultimate solution, in my view, is to make the subjective experience one's personal, not just frame of mind, but state of beingness, one that is more satisfying to people to experience. Because I don't think that it is just a matter of a state of mind, because mind is not all that exists. And I believe that spiritual paths that simply focus on clear-mindedness, on peace of mind, can potentially be insufficient, ineffective, in that they may teach you how to control your thoughts, how to find greater mental clarity and peace. But we require more than that, because we are not just a mind, we are not just thoughts, but there is more to the totality of consciousness than that. And but there really needs to be a feeling that goes along with it. It's one thing to create emptiness within, and I think that this is part of the quest and the path, is to empty ourselves of our delusions, our baggage, our blockages, that which is holding us down and holding us back from our true potential, and creating more of a open space within us. And then another aspect of the quest is to fill that space up with something, with a presence of being, with light, with love, with a feeling that is palpable, that is truly something that you are undeniably experiencing, of a true state of wonder and amazement, and something flowing through you. Not just mental clarity, not just relief from your pain and suffering. That's one experience. We all experience this on a regular basis. You're hungry and you finally get to eat, and you experience the relief of getting away from that unpleasant feeling of hunger. Or you've just hiked all day and then you finally get to sit and take a seat, and what a experience of almost bliss or whatever, of just being able to sit down and just find relief from your sore muscles and from pushing yourself so hard. So that is one experience. But that is a relative experience. This feels better than that did. That is, I finally got away from that feeling. And so that is necessarily a transitory feeling and experience, that relief feeling. It feels like a peak initially, and then that slowly subsides, and then there you are with whatever your true state of mind and being is. And then the cravings and addictions and everything can come back, within minutes of, well, now I'm bored, or now I'm stuck back in all those unpleasant thoughts and everything that had been plaguing me before my hike began, but then here they, come again. And so that is a transitory state. And so what I'm talking about then is creating a state of being, of substance within one's soul that is powerful, that is real, that is something significant, something solid, you could say, although solid is not the word, because it is actually a state of great openness of being, but that there is something there. It's not about getting rid of everything. It's about getting rid of all that which weighs you down, which separates you from that state of ecstatic being that we can experience. But then welcoming in divine energy flow that is the true substance of reality, and allowing that to course through us, and then experience a true state of intense gratitude and appreciation for who we are and this world that we are immersed in, and of connectedness with the world around us and the people around us, so that we are a vortex of energy transference, of divine energy coming through our being, but then radiating it out to the world around us. And so that's a lot of fancy sounding talk, and how do you actually achieve such a state of being? And I have certainly had my peak experiences along these lines, which have been transitory, but I have also experienced a greater connection with something divine, something beyond just this world in the course of my own path of awakening and self-realization, such that I feel a great inner confidence that that such a state can be achieved and experienced, and that anybody can do it, although certainly some people are in more difficult fixes, more difficult places than others. Some people are just naturally in this state of wonder and thankfulness for being alive, and many are in states of extreme difficulty and lost in the darkness without any kind of a hint that there could be such a thing as experiencing some sort of inner bliss just for being. People who are addicted to drugs and depending on what it is or whatever. I mean, I'm not against drugs categorically, but point being that it's one thing to say your true state of being is of bliss, but then how do you actually experience that? And so that is the great quest. But just a thought to keep in mind, something to consider, is that, oh hey, little four-legged friend here. Hey buddy. Hi. Hope you don't mind if I sort of show you off to the audience here, and then I'll leave you alone. Alright, have fun, enjoy. Just a quick little thought, in case you are ever lost in the woods, hungry, and then come across one of these guys, do not eat them because they are poisonous. I forget exactly how poisonous, not sure if you would die or just get horribly sick, but one or the other. You know, that's kind of what I'm discussing in a lot of my videos is ways that people can make these changes within their energetic selves, their soul, in order to move more in the direction of a state of being that feels more peaceful, but also more satisfying, more enriching. Not, claiming to have it all figured out or anything here, just kind of sharing my own ideas and thoughts and experiences for others to utilize if they can. But just to keep in mind that concept that we have a wide array of energetic states of being to choose from. We are not stuck in just whatever we are experiencing now. It isn't our fate to stay in a state of depression, anxiety, worry, stress, drama, trauma, negative self-talk, etc. Just because that may be what we have experienced a lot of in our lives, we may not even be able to remember something beyond that. But that is not all that exists. That is not all that is available to us. We can experience states of true bliss and ecstasy and just absolute positive delight and joy at being alive if we can simply touch that and connect with it and open up the door, get your foot in the door of that sort of a state of being of inner ecstasy, and just open the crack a little bit and just get a glimpse of it, and then be reminded, be shown that is possible. And the first necessary element with anything in life is to have a belief, is just to believe that it is possible. And then that can be the that which leads one to confirming it for yourself that this is actually real, that it is actually possible and can be experienced. All right. Seeing a little blue sky here after raining throughout the day. Definitely enjoying getting outside and experiencing the natural elements here and the sort of peace of nature despite the sounds of the highway off in the distance. But anyways, nice day here in Northern California. All right, take it easy. Hasta luego.